just a lead of 81. Chandraran Chandrapal 73, just 27 short of 100. And he'll want to get that, and he'll want to get a lot more, and he'll be depending on his captain, this man Darren Sammy, to stay with him, to get the West Indies back into a competitive position. They were in a good one yesterday afternoon, and in the space of half an hour that just dissolved. So here we are, day 5, and we're off. Almost. But it's going to have to be a matter of making runs, getting runs, and consuming time for the West Indies. Weather looks good. Looks like we'll have a full day's play.
And that's a positive start. Because the more runs they can get will certainly help the cause. And the captain has started off the right way.
This just shows you how flat this wicket is. Got a bit of room. He'll come up with a lot of pace, and well cut away by Darren Sammy. You can see those areas where the bowlers have followed through are a little bit rough, but the surface itself has held together pretty well.
No doubt he'll be looking to his bowlers to finish off the latter stages of the West Indies innings as quickly as possible. West Indies subsiding late yesterday, 201 for 3 at one point. And then Edwards, Samuels, Bowe going just before the close. There he goes again. He's not going to be messing about if there's a chance to get some runs on the board.
Well, this one not as good a shot as the one before. Just carved it. There's no one out there. So once he got it over the infield, it was always going to be 4. Man is being posted now on the point boundary, Makand, and third man also, but he's not going all the way back. It's going to be in that area where a lofted cut may just carry.
It was tempting him there to go for it again.
It'll have to be a score well in excess of 200 to really worry India, I would think, or make the West Indies feel relatively safe in terms of saving this test match. It's a long way to go.
Just bringing that fielder into play. Not good enough to just occupy the crease. Although this man is very good at standing his ground for long periods. It's about pushing things along already. They've added some 9 runs to the lead. It's now 90. But with every prospect that there's a full day of cricket ahead of us, the West Indies have to really defy India for some time.
You need to be a bit watchful as well. It's still a new ball, just 4 overs old. 233 for 6.
New test venue, but nothing much has changed. The West Indies finding themselves battling to avoid defeat to the visitors. Praveen Kumar from the Billy Doctorow Pavilion end, looking for that breakthrough. Got the early wicket of Adrian Barrett. Added the scalp of Carlton Bohr just before stumps. There's a short straight mid-off that has now come in for Sami. Suresh Raina under the sun hat. He's on the field, Badrinath for Harbhajan Singh. Sami's overall numbers don't inspire a lot of confidence. Test average in the teens. But he's got a chance here. Yet another opportunity to get some runs, give his team a fighting chance.
The only bowler who's really looked threatening in this innings has been Harbhajan. He's gotten a bit of turn and bounce, but the seamers have been relatively easy to negotiate. It's really poor shots that have caused the downfall of batsmen. Carlton Bohr, the latest, playing an atrocious shot to the new ball yesterday afternoon. That'll get past him. It's good timing from Shivnarine Chanderpaul. The long chase should get him 3. This will be his first runs of the morning. Doesn't really look to hit the ball very hard, just times it. Get the feeling that the man at mid-off thought he might cut it off. That was Munaf Patel, who is not the swiftest across the ground.
He play forward. The ball between him and toe, he playing back. He playing back.
He's off the field at present, Harbhajan. But I'm sure he'll be on because he'll have a role to play.
.237 for 6. Captain and former captain in the middle of the West Indies. Harbhajan Singh has just come back on. Probably hoping that his faster bowlers can do the finishing job with the second new ball in hand. Won't require the spinner, but you want to have all your resources available. They're playing it well so far, this 7th wicket pair. Positive start from the captain, Chanderpaul. No doubt in his mind, another Test 100 as well. Field again deep on the offside for Sammy, and also on the onside. There's a square leg within 10 meters of the rope, and a long leg. It suggests that they expect the really big shots to continue from the West Indies captain.
He's not really known for his defense. He's going to try to push it along. What he'll have to do to survive is to select well. Ball isn't swinging, it isn't doing very much.
There he goes, forward of square. He got on top of it, was mindful of Munaf Patel on the cover boundary.
He's met this a little bit earlier and hit it in front of point. Tried to roll those wrists over it. He'll move along with a totally different method. Shivnarine Chanderpaul. Quite happy to nudge it around, pick up the singles.
A lot of red in that press box. That's a bit of a distraction for Shiv. I wonder if he was waving happy birthday to Tony, because he's somewhere in there as well. Ian Bishop was talking about it yesterday, in the days of club cricket, that you never bothered with things like side screens and were preoccupied with someone riding a bicycle 20 miles away in your eyesight. Was that a concern for you, Douche?
Well, it's you know, if you don't have the facility of a side screen, you guess you don't think about it too much. But you know, you're playing at this level, you can't really depend on the person who is in your line of sight to stay still, and if they start to move, it can be a distraction.
It's amazing the line of sight of some cricketers, though. It can extend to the very top of the stand.
Well, you just don't want anything moving around in your field of vision. That will distract you from focusing on the bowler and his hand. Plus, sometimes it ticks off bowlers if you stop them halfway in their run-up.
More runs here for Shiv. And he's going to get 3. The lead is now 99. 242 for 6. West Indies looking to really occupy the crease, but runs on the board make it very difficult for India. Bat themselves to a draw, that would be a bit of a moral victory if they were to hold on. I think thoughts of a declaration or anything like that are not even being considered at the moment, especially after the late collapse yesterday. He's timed that very well. More runs for the experienced left-hander. Takes the lead to over 100.
Very comfortable to deliveries in that area on his legs. Strong on the onside, strong off his legs.
They're hoping for a pretty good turnout on this last day at Windsor Park. Reduce the ticket prices, under 16s allowed in free. Well, Raina is virtually standing in the way of Shivnarine Chandapol at that non-striker's end.
It's a pretty new ball, and surprisingly Praveen Kumar not getting that hooping swing that we have come to associate with him. It's pretty much going straight down the pipe.
You need to have a word with him again after what he told you in Barbados.
In the 7th over with this new ball. Claimed he could swing it anywhere, anytime. 100% of the time. He's bowling very straight, making sure not to give Darren Sammy any room. So maybe he doesn't want to swing it. I doubt that though.
.245 for 6.
They've cheered every run, even singles and defensive shots were cheered all through play yesterday. So the older heads have passed down their love of West Indies cricket to the younger ones, to the youths, teenagers, kids. It's been a fascinating and insightful test match for me in many respects.
Catch it! Yeah!
And he's out. Given by umpire Kettleborough. So off he goes. Out similarly in the first innings to Harbhajan Singh as well. And very disappointed. Darren Sammy goes off. Umpire Kettleborough makes the decision. Here it is.
Definitely comes off the ribs. It certainly came off the front pad onto the ribs. Doesn't look like a goodie. No review system in place, and that's what it was brought in for. But there's no T sign. 2-5-5 for 7.
West Indies have lost their captain, Darren Sammy, 255 for 7. He certainly didn't leave with any enthusiasm. Felt that the indication was he felt that he hadn't hit the ball. Umpire Kettleborough gave it out.
Pad onto the chest area and into short leg.
Ball gets off the mark. West Indies looking for the kind of innings which have had quite often from Rampal against India. Here's the dismissal once more. He was out to a caught at short leg off Harbhajan in the first innings. Much clearer than that. Harbhajan's fourth wicket. Chanderpaul 87 now in strike. Now is he home or is he out? It's a direct hit coming off Dhoni's glove, and all of the Indians feel that Rampal has been too slow in getting home. They do feel that they have their man. Just chopped down to backward point. Rampal on the way home, and now has the glove broken the stumps before the ball gets there? I think Joel Wilson will make the decision here. He's out of his ground at the moment. Now the question here, only question arising, is whether Dhoni's glove broke the stumps before the ball got there.
We'll be able to confirm that in a few seconds. Ravi Rampal is looking towards his dressing room. Everyone is looking towards their dressing room. It would look as though he would venture a guess that the ball hits the stump. Whether the bail was taken off by the glove, this will tell us conclusively. Nope, out. Definitely out. Rampal is going to have to go here. It was such a tight single. Such a tight single. It went almost straight to Ishant Sharma. Definitely out. But what a waste of a wicket.
And Rampal, a batsman who is capable of sticking around for some time. And now we got Chanderpaul on 87 with only 2 wickets remaining. We'll have the red light, I'm sure. The only question was whether Dhoni's gloves broke the stumps before the ball hit them. But I think we've seen pretty clearly that the ball has hit the stumps and broken the stumps. Umpire Joel Wilson just having a look for confirmation. He just wants to be absolutely certain, but I'm sure there is a certainty that the ball has hit the stumps. Dhoni's gloves haven't dislodged the bails or anything. The bails have been just dislodged by the ball. And here comes the decision now. Took a long time, but there is a confirmation. Just wants to be absolutely certain. That was the length of time it took, and in the end he was. So Rampal goes 2 wickets in very quick succession, and the West Indies, who had started brightly, have now become a lot dimmer. 256 for 8, they lead by 113. Only Edwards and Bishu to come to join Chandapol, who's 13 away from 100.
Manath hasn't had a particularly good match, just 1 wicket in the first innings, wicketless so far in this second. Well, he thought about it for a while. Decided against taking the single Chandapol. As Tony mentioned, he's been in this situation more than once. Sometimes he's gone on to get the 100, twice he's been denied by the inability of his partners to hang on.
Well, they're giving him the single. That'll be cut off. It's not the greatest situation to bat in. It's always a temptation to try and hit a boundary. You just end up giving it away. There's an appeal there. And they're going to have to check if Edwards got back.
The only question will be if Fidel Edwards had the bat down in time. Did it come off the fingers of the bowler?
Well, that's confirmation that it did. He did get a touch on it. Here it comes, and let's see what happens with the bat. Looks to be safe. Got it down just in time, Fidel Edwards.
Just in time at the point of impact. Ball onto stumps. Bale coming up now, and the bat is down. He's safe, and that's why the technology in this case, the line decisions are so very important, because often you think that didn't look close at all, but it's always useful for the umpire just to double check. Who would have thought VVS Lakshman would have been out-stumped to Carlton Bow in the way that he was in the first innings? But again, the technology allows, with a certain degree of clarity, these line decisions.
He's coming around the wicket. Mid-wicket is now squarer. He'll take the single. So Fidel Edwards will have to face 2 deliveries. The instructions, I'm sure, would be just play straight. And don't play at anything you don't have to.
Well, he shouldn't be doing that. And the blow on the side of the helmet will probably tell him, look, he doesn't have the technique to even attempt a shot like that.
The circumstances certainly didn't call for that. They have just gotten clipped on the right ear. There it goes, and got the edge of the grill, but he must have taken quite a bit of the ball just around his ear. Munaf checking if he's okay. There's confirmation that he is, but maybe just a little bit shaken up and might have a nasty bruise there. Not the kind of shot you'd be wanting to play with your partner on 90 and 8 wickets down. This may tell him that. Got more of his ear, I think, than it did the grill. It was a pretty solid blow.
There's a little bit of blood there, just at the back of the ear.
Well, let's hope it isn't anything serious.
Bit of resistance again from Fidel Edwards, which we've come to expect over the years in partnership with the senior man Chanderpaul. And all the preoccupation with Chanderpaul getting to 100, the lead just edging forward is now 120.
For Chanderpaul, 110 for Edwards. 2 possible centuries in the innings, and they're only 120 ahead. It's poor batting in their first innings, only managing 204. Get some for this. May not get 4, may not have enough legs on it. We'll just take 2. Takes him on to 95.
He's got 5 centuries against India and a very good series in 2002. Excellent average against the #1 team in Test cricket. We'll get 2 more here again. 3 away from that 100. That's what they've come here for this morning. They've already cheered Kirk Edwards to 100 yesterday. Talked a lot about how the crowd lifted him here at Windsor Park, the debutant. Edged wide of Dravid. Again, he'll come back. 99.
This one just out of the grasp of Rahul Dravid. Closed the face on it and looked as if it was going in at one point, but just wide of those fingers. Seen him close the face on a couple yesterday. This one just gets enough of an edge to beat Dravid. Gets him 2 more. Shivnarine Chanderpaul on 99.
Almost run out Fidel was ready to come through now.
It's amazing what happens when you're on 99. Fidel Edwards was out of the blocks. Just managed to get back. Could have easily been like Kirk Edwards getting to 100 yesterday. This was some sharp work, but not sharp enough from Makand. And he lets it go. So he'll have to wait, Shivnarine Chandapal. It's 269 for 8.
So it's going to be Fidel Edwards on a strike. A lot of excitement in the course of that over from Harbhajan. And maybe to some surprise, Chandapal not looking for the single of the last ball. It will be Ishant to Fidel, who's taken a blow in the back of the ear earlier on from Munaf Patel. And to bring you a lot more of the excitement, Ian Bishop and Tony Cozier.
Thank you, Fazia. Yeah, excitement it is. Drama. And the crowd's right into it. Most of those who were outside a while ago have now come in. No more hooking, Fidel.
As a lot of batsmen these days, or tail ender in the old cricketing money, you have to be able to hold your own. You'll receive your fair share of short deliveries. You'll dish it out, but you have to be able to take it back. Fast bowlers union long expired.
And being adept at the limbo is also helpful. Well run. Brings Chandapal into the strike now. Just a little push into the offside. Caught at Windsor Park now, awaiting to acclaim yet another Chandapal 100. And the second 100 they would have seen a West Indian batsman score in 2 days. They're ready for it. They've been ready for it from the start of the day's play. Shivnarine Chandapal 99 now.
Certain that from this man's point of view, if and when he gets this 100, there'll be an outburst of emotion, probably more so than for any of the 100s that he's scored before. He's been through a lot.
Four balls left in the over.
The strength of the offside field, it's a 7-2 field. I wonder if Shiv just came across here. He anticipated that based on the way the field is set. Look at the right of your screen, folks. Look at how many fielders are in a ring there. That Ishant would be looking to push his ball across him. That's Ishant's stock delivery. Much more so with the field. And he tried to get across the stumps to manipulate any chance of it into the leg side.
No ball signal by Asad Rauf. looks very much as if most of the spectators who are outside now are in, if not all of them. Given this test match good support yesterday and the day before as well. Balls left in the over. Chandapol 99. Edwards existed 14 deliveries, got a couple of runs. West Indies losing their captain Darren Sammy today. Decision that was a bit contentious, and then the run out of Rampal. A direct hit from Ishant Sharma. Now just leaning over, perhaps. Fine leg coming up now, Ishant Sharma. Not sure if he's feeling 100%. He's just leaning over. Now he's right up in that backward short leg position. And flicked away, 100 for Shivnarine Chandapol. He'll get a couple of runs here. His 23rd 100 acclaimed by the crowd here at Windsor Park. Chandapol himself will do what he usually does, raises his bat and his helmet, and a hug from Phelan Edwards, who's remained there with him. Congratulations from Edwards to Chandapol, and there he goes. That characteristic and almost traditional fashion. Chandapol has now done it 23 times in Test cricket. Took 19 Test matches to score his first 100 in the West Indies team since 1994. Now at the age of 36, and still capable of the type of innings which the West Indies required yesterday from him and from Kirk Edwards when they were struggling with 3 early wickets down. That's a wide. Just trying to keep Chandapol off the strike. Asad Rauf makes a call of a wide. Was going to be the last ball of the over. Brilliant fielding, brilliant fielding. Murli Vijay cuts it off at cover, sweetly timed cover drive, doesn't get a run. Phelan Edwards will have the strike. It's 274 for 8 as the water break comes onto the ground.
The lead now 140. Edwards 110 yesterday. Chandapol now 103, but he's slowed not even to a crawl, just one scoring shot since getting to the century. In fact, there haven't been any boundaries for more than 2 hours. It came off the bat of Darren Sammy, the West Indies captain, before he was given out, caught at bat pad, judged by Kettleborough. Back over the bowler's head. Will it carry? Ishant looking to pull it off, doesn't succeed. So at long last, we've got a boundary.
Third boundary of the day. It's a good shot from Phelan Edwards. Nice and straight. Nice high front elbow. Made sure that it went straight back over the bowler's head. Picks himself up a boundary. Important that he doesn't get too ambitious. It's just 144 the lead.
He's gone again, getting a bit more adventurous. Won't get 4. And if Chandapur might just want to remind him that they can still get to lunch and continue the work in the afternoon.
Yes, well, I think he's going to tell him to just cool down now. We haven't got enough on the board. Going along well as it is, not taking any chances. Didn't quite get hold of that one. And they'll get a single for the overthrow. Nice looking shot from Fidel Edwards. Nicely timed. That's more like it. And, made his ground, Chandapur, but picked up a single. Edwards on 14 now. More importantly, he's got Shivnarine Chandapur back on strike.
Manaf probably feeling that he was held up there by Fidel and not by the batsman on strike. And I seem to ask him a question as to what's the situation.
Just comes off a short run. And I think that might have a little bit more to do with the fact that he might be calling Fidel a slugger. I think he first spoke to Shivnarine Chandapur and told him to get ready, I'm coming. I think Fidel told Shiv to just wait, settle down, stop him, and that sort of ticked him off. It's 290 for 8.
Wonder if we'll see Fidel and Shiv having some mid-pitch discussions to prolong this over.
It's just a second ball, so Chandapur showing some confidence in Fidel's ability to handle Raina.
He's pushing his mid on deeper. He's gone now towards long on. Yeah! And they get the single.
Single is offered and taken. Two deliveries left. We might just get one more over in.
The lead up to 150. The clock heading up to 12. might not be exactly accurate. By our calculations, there's less than a minute to go.
Very ambitious appeal there. Looked to have done too much. Got a good stride in as well. Single off the last ball. Umpires decide that it's time for a feed, and it's lunch.
"59 overs after this one remaining for the day as a minimum." Down the leg side, Dhoni doesn't seem altogether himself today behind the stumps. Very lax in getting around to that and conceding a bye.
Well, the West Indies can use every run, no matter how they come. And that was a bit sloppy. "59 overs left in the day. They have to be setting their sights on batting most of those.
It's not only Dhoni, of course, he's captain, but India looked lethargic during this partnership. #1 team in the world, got to live up to that billing. Also the World Cup champions. Really, we've got to try and finish off things quickly as possible.
And Praveen himself is looking too interested. We've had one fly down the leg side. We have a nice full toss. It's only a 6th over for the day.
Fine shot off the back foot, punch through the offside. Gains him 2.
He's made 20 twice, his highest score 21. Now he's equalled his highest score in Test cricket, Fidel Edwards. It's the end of the over. It also brings up the 50-run partnership. It's 306 for 8.
Now ran it to Edwards. The 50 partnership will go for a single here. Midwicket had to come across to his left. Highest score in Test matches for Philaid Edwards. Remember that highest score, 21 against South Africa at Cape Town the last time the West Indies were there. Included a massive 6 over long on of Jack Callis. Match which the West Indies lost towards the end. Not dissimilar to this one.
This is outside. Not for a stroke, but didn't look to be threatening the stumps.
Looks a bit more threatening, Harbhajan did towards the end of his spell.
Well, he's pushing it through and getting it to turn as well. Batsmen are having less time to play. He's got to keep it up to the bat if he's going to bowl that flat.
He'll be turning it into Edwards. Ball spinning away from the left-handed Chandapol, beating the outside edge. Now just a one close fielder now for Edwards on the leg side. Mid-wicket comes in straighter and closer. So at the end of the over, it's 308 for 8.
Directed and he was run out. Bharat, Powell, Bravo getting a lesson here from Chandapol. The idea of valuing your wicket. Batting consultant and former West Indies opener Desmond Haynes will be in the dressing room as well, and without saying too much, he might just simply making that same point. He's confident the bowler, but no one else is.
Yeah, Raina was the only one who went up vociferously. That's why. Probably do well to take the glasses off.
And the resistance continues. 309 for 8. Very hot afternoon on this Sunday. Unusual to have Sunday being the final scheduled day of a test match in the West Indies. This will due to the scheduling arrangements to squeeze in an additional test match. It is necessary to start test matches on a Monday in Jamaica, Tuesday in Barbados, Wednesday here in Dominica.
Seamers have been quite all morning, for those of you who've continuously watched play, adamant that they'll bowl short of Fidel Edwards without the effect so far of taking his wicket, and they've got a short leg in place. They've had a short leg in place for Ishant Sharma's new spell here after lunch. He's going around the wicket to him, so that plan doesn't seem to be one that will change. And I still feel with the flatness of the wicket or the pitch and the softness of the ball that you've got to pitch the ball up and attack the stumps. Only 2 deliveries would have been hitting the stumps so far to Edwards today, and 60% of them almost have been short. I think that's negating any effect that they could have. Just feel that you want to be pitching several of those deliveries closer. You're looking for the edge, you're looking for LBW, and you're looking to hit the stumps.
Popped up on the offside where no one is located.
I suppose the angle of the ball from around the wicket, if it's not straight enough, the obvious place for it to go with its angle is further towards the offside. If it's straight at the body, it'll go onside. Why not have another man in close offside? Just to put some pressure on him. It's almost saving one there still, Rahul Dravid.
Big hit, back over the bowler's head, over long off, and gone away for 4. Extravagant response.
Yeah, not a bad shot. And if you're the bowler, you're a little stung, but it's a risky shot in many ways because he clears and looks to have a dart, which is exactly what you want as a bowler. He's defended well. That could easily have gone straight up in the air. Slightly slower ball. That was good thinking. It was a deepish long off as well. So if you're Sharma, you don't mind that too much. There's the man left of screen at that long off position, or deep mid off.
Again, on the body, but he played it away well. Chandimal wanted to come back for the second run, and Fidel was satisfied with the single. A bit of an exchange between Ishant and Fidel, fast bowlers alike.
Seeing that yellow delivery was the one that was slow and got slogged down the ground. Nice bit of chit chat between Sharma and Edwards.
Lead now 172.
Raina to Chandimal. 75 the lead, and with every over comes that little ray of hope that the West Indies can extend their innings into a place of relative safety or into a competitive position. Tony Cozier has now returned from that place that he goes to in between commentary stints. We're not quite sure where that is, but he's back.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Yeah, I go where I can see the cricket. I don't go in the back of the box and play crossword puzzles. I don't know if you're going to join the Television Commentators Union, which I'm intending to form, to ensure that the non-working commentators have somewhere to sit so they can watch the game. Nice shot. Edwards, he really has played well.
He's played sensibly most of the time, Fidel Edwards. And it's finally come to an end. Couldn't resist the temptation of going over the top. Praveen Kumar takes the catch at long off, and the 9th wicket goes down. Disappointment showing on Shivnarine Chandrapal's face as Edwards trying to go straight down the ground, doesn't get hold of it, and Praveen Kumar vents his frustration on the ball. And Edwards vents his. Stuck around for a long time for his 30 runs, but the West Indies now reduced to 321 for 9, 178 ahead.
Devendra Bishu now takes guard from umpire Asad Rauf. Raina round the wicket. Wicket of Edwards was the second of the series. His first was Bishu, in fact. Last wicket to fall in the first Test match. Finished off the match up at Sabina Park. Almost a full house in here at Windsor Park. Certainly seats are very well filled. And that's it, end of the innings. Bishu going for the drive, and Dravid holds on to yet another slip catch. Ambitious shot from Bishu. Raina picks up another wicket, finishes off the innings 322 all out. 180 India will need to win the match and go 2-0 up in the 3-match series.
Very sharp catch from Dravid. Moving to his right. He's put down a few. There's been a few that haven't quite carried, but this one snaps it up to end the West Indian innings. Shivnarine Chandrapal left stranded on 116. Need India 180 runs to win.
So Chandrapal goes off with his 36 not out innings in his long career. So that brings his average up to over 49. West Indies all out for 322. Long resistance, Chandrapal, and given very good assistance today from Phelan Edwards. But once he went, Bishu very ambitious with a drive, edge to slip, out for one. And now India, certainly with the advantage, you would think that they would, of 47 overs, they'd be able to get the 180 runs they need for victory in good batting conditions. You have to score those runs at 3.82 runs on an average per over. And with all wickets intact, shouldn't be a difficulty for them. But the West Indies can pick up a few early wickets, can make it really interesting. And they'll have some very good support around the ground. It's the biggest crowd we've seen at a test match for the entire series. And lovely weather, so that won't come into the equation. West Indies all out 322 have left India 180 to win the third and final test match. Mukund, the left-hander, retained for the Tour of England. He's been quite consistent without getting really big scores in the series, left-hander. And he will take strike. Murali Vijay, very disappointing in this series, has struggled all the way through. So these are the two openers. India waiting to get back their two established openers, Gautam Gambhir, who will be back for the first test in England. Still uncertainty over Virender Sehwag. At the moment, these are the two openers, and it's Edwards who will start off to Mukund. Big appeal for leg before first ball. Goes first ball. Phelan Edwards gets rid of Mukund first ball with the ball coming back into him, and Asad Rauf raises a finger and the crowd is on its feet.
Always dangerous when he's pitching the ball up. Fidel Edwards gets this one up on the right line, swings back in. Mukund struck in front. First glance it looked a bit high, but umpire reckons that it would have hit the stumps and he sent him. So India lose their first wicket without scoring. Mukund goes, it's none for one.
Rahul Dravid comes in now. Decisive 100 for him in the first test match, but since then hasn't been as prolific by any means. Out cheaply in the first innings. Yes.
Very appropriate background behind his graphic, nicknamed The Wall. Come to try to settle things down now. West Indies on a high. Fantastic start. Wicket with the first ball.
Big appeal for a catch at the wicket. That's excitement more than anything else, I think. But a good delivery. Asad Rauf having none of it, but a lifting delivery, sparred at it.
Well, she believes it's out. Let's have a look. Bounced a bit and fended at it. But nowhere near in the end. Just excitement and exuberance. Fended just like he did at Sammy in Barbados and got an outside edge.
Said Rauf, a rather small individual. I wouldn't want him to come across that lady who was remonstrating with him later this evening in the streets of Roseau. Or in fact any Dominican, any West Indian in the crowd. They've been energised by the partnership between Chandler and Edwards, now by the first ball dismissal of Mukund by Edwards. He's got this ball snaking away, lovely outswing bowling from Edwards. We saw this in his opening spell in the first innings.
Oh, he's such a different bowler when he pitches the ball up. Dravid later in his innings wouldn't play at this, but it's pressure, it's nerves. They've reckoned that he's very vulnerable around there early on. This is the wicket. Plays right across it. Hit right in front of the stumps. If any question, it could have been a bit high.
No umpire's review system here, and Hawkeye suggested that the ball would have taken the top of the middle stump. The bails would have been dislodged.
They were certain. And Mukund was way back in his crease, way back on his stumps. Will Edwards having a good test match. Jumps back in the crease. He's right on up on those stumps, but his feet are off the ground. So even though it hits him on the just above the knee roll, could be a bit high.
No ball. Ball by Asad Rauf. Nice away swing at pace from Edwards, up to almost 88 miles an hour, just over 141 kilometers an hour.
He's got that seam dead stiff going down the road.
Very good opening over. Tested even Rahul Dravid. 1 for 1. Very cosmopolitan turnout for the test match in Dominica. A lot of female participation. Well, they've come in their numbers. They've got a little bit of hope here, and perhaps more than that. Early wicket for the West Indies. 180 is the overall target for India to win. 47 overs at the start of the innings. We've just had 1 over, 1 no ball, 1 wicket. In the commentary box, Fazir Mohammed, and with him Ian Bishop.
Edged for 4. First runs of the chase. And it's the first ball of the match for Ravi Rampal. Troubled by a serious stomach upset that had him demoted down the batting, didn't bowl at all in the first innings. And India got up to 347. And a really explosive first over from Fidel Edwards. Made a significant contribution with the bat in a lengthy partnership with Chandapol.
Again, Fidel Edwards is swinging the ball early. getting it to slide off the pitch, bang on target. They've done a lot of work on his release point, on his pitch maps in between games and on the morning of matches, and that's where the hard work comes in. When you start on target. So important when you can get a first ball on target, because no matter how much cricket you play as an opening batsman, you're not sure how the new ball is going to deviate, how much swing, how much bounce. All batsmen are vulnerable early in their innings. And that was a good cluster from Edwards, really good cluster.
Rampal has that reputation, especially bowling to Murali Vijay, of getting that early wicket. Vijay hasn't had a good series, not selected for the Tour of England, beginning in just a few days' time. He's already seen the departure of Abhinav Mukund, who will be going to England. Four times he's dismissed him. First wicket of the series at Sabina Park. Then in the second innings, had little chance with that one, kept very low. And then in Barbados. So he's got his number at the moment, Rampal. We want to dial it up again. Five for one. Fix that radar, just adjust to what he had in the first over. Right on target to Mukund, got him first ball. And Dravid fending at the first delivery that he faced. And that pace and the away swing, more than a handful. For him here to get him going.
Still swing available for Fidel Edwards. It's very important for him to understand that he still has to hit the pitch and hit a length, though the ball is swinging, and people will say carry the ball up, there's a chance that if he drives he'll nick it. But sometimes I think we can make too much of carry it up, and we carry it up too close. Why can't you do the work from a length? Which is the way that he's gotten Virat Kohli a couple of times. Murali Vijay once in the first innings. And I think that same length and swinging away will apply to Dravid as well.
talked about the West Indies having a scent of victory if they were to get early wickets, if it could cause some anxiety, and if the West Indies could actually push through. Which, in the way that Shivnarine Chanderpaul stood unbeaten and unbowed, this is one man who will certainly make every effort to stand firm. Chasing a wide one. More excitement from the bowler than anticipation.
Yeah, very uncharacteristic of Dravid to play at this so very wide. That's the thing about it, nerves can be the unsettling even of the very best in a tense situation. It's not all about technique, it's about your mental state.
Couple more to end off the over. Nine for 1. Early setback for India in pursuit of second Test match victory in the same series for the first time in the West Indies to make it 2-0. The West Indies will believe they've got a good chance of making it 1-1. It'll be interesting to see if we can get through to the 47 overs. Of course, India will want to get those 180 runs long before that. Beaten on an appeal. They are confident that the umpire is not going to give it.
Extremely good delivery. Let's have a look and a listen to this. Definitely hit probably the back leg here. Vijay probably indicating there that it hit his trout on the way through. Or the pad, in fact. Just going over the top of the stumps.
Looked a lot better getting out on the front foot there, Vijay. It's a second boundary.
Yeah, it would have hit the pad, but folks, it would have been too high anyway going over the stumps. It was just a little deflection.
Not all that dissimilar from the delivery that got him in the second innings in Barbados. Then he really pushed at the ball.
Yeah, I gave a little chuckle the other day when the West Indies came up with a plan. And I don't mean to be cynical. I think they've bowled a lot better and they've done their homework, but there was this report in the newspapers that they'd come up with a plan to get Dravid. And I was quite curious as to what the plan was, and they said off stump a little bit in and a little bit of movement away or in. And I thought to myself, that sounds familiar. Every batsman in the world will be susceptible to off stump and a little bit in and a little bit away. I don't know that that's different from anybody.
Cynical? You? No, man.
It did make me smile, because I was waiting for this I saw the headline and I heard the guys talking about it, and it's fair enough. Sammy came up with a very good couple of deliveries in Barbados and here, but I just think when you sit down in a team meeting, there are very few exceptions to the off-stump line, and if you get a little bit of movement either way, that's where we start. That's our base. Look for the edge, LBW or bold. There are a few exceptions to that sort of theory, very few.
Sort of like saying, how do you win the football game? Score more goals than the other guys. 14 for 1.
Seven-2 field. Only 2 on the leg side. So often we've seen this in the series. In fact, India at one time used just 1 man on the leg side.
Not sure I quite understand why, with a 7-2 field, Rampal is bowling so many of his deliveries from wide of the crease. That means he has to be very accurate. He has to start his deliveries fairly wide of the off stump. I just want to talk a little bit about his approach to the crease. It is very important with his style, like Fidel Edwards, that his run-up has adequate momentum. There are times when he doesn't use his run-up, he doesn't have adequate momentum in his run-up, and sometimes he stalls through his delivery stride. And I think that is something that he has to work on. He can be very casual in his approach to the crease. He's got to attack the crease a little more. You see how wide on the crease he is in this spell? It may be a plan, but it negates the one that goes the other way, the outswinger. And because he has to start the ball wide of the off stump, it opens up that offside a bit more. And then if he gets too straight, he's easily clipped into the onside. Now let's look at, see, Rampal are the blue deliveries. And so many of those deliveries, in fact, all of them are bowled from wide of the crease. I prefer to see a little more variation. Fidel Edwards is a slightly lower, the red cluster, and from closer to the stumps, held by a slightly wrongish arm as well. I prefer to see a variation on both themes instead of so many deliveries from one particular area.
Vijay's got 20 and it's his highest score of the series, so he's really had a rough time here in the Caribbean. Good for him just to finish off now with a good score.
That delivery was delivered from mid-crease. And again, Rampal didn't see it on screen, but he flexed his left ankle there as well. 28 for 1 will come.
Sammy now in his third over. Where he does look a lovely pitch to bat on now. Nothing happening now. This is what has Ian Bishop a little bit confused. They're getting the shade there, but how can they see through the light pylon?
Something else that has confused me even more.
Well, he's got it past Gully. We'll go for 4.
No third man.
Straight away for a boundary. Moves Vijay on to 27 now, his third boundary. right on top of it.
Perfect angle from behind the pylon to see where that ball went and the shot. There's a gentleman standing there with an umbrella in the shade behind the pylon as well.
Devendra Bishu wasn't able to show any resistance with the bat. Can he be effective with the ball in just frustrating India here? They're trying to do what the West Indies once did to India. Too short, and that's a boundary to start with for Rahul Dravid in this over.
This is first delivery. Not an impressive one. You can't really set a feel for that.
India set 180 here. So the West Indies got to 322, their best total of the 5 test matches played in the Caribbean this year. India, and you played in that test match in 1983, Douj.
This is much better. Better length.
It was a test match I was referring to, was in 1983 at Sabina Park. And the match seemed to be meandering to a draw. Andy Roberts picked up 3 wickets in quick succession. The West Indies was set 172 and were able to chase it down. It was a pretty frenetic chase in the final session of that test match. I think you played your part with a few big hits towards the end.
Right, there's turn and bounce there for him. And he's giving the close-in fieldsmen a pounding. Well, this is what you call turning the other cheek. Another short delivery. Now is the time that if he's going to get hit, he needs to get hit through the offside. He needs to pitch up on that off stump, get the batsman to drive. 50 for 1.
The last test series before this one was at the turn of the year in South Africa, where they had never previously gotten away without a series defeat. They drew it there. Fidel doesn't look too comfortable. No, this is not an encouraging sign.
Well, he had to get his ankle strapped in the first innings. Right ankle, I believe it is. Sign of discomfort as he turns to go back to his mark.
He wants that first slip a bit wider. He was the only man slip there, Marlon Samuels.
It's very important now for the West Indies to bowl a few cheap overs, just to lift that required rate, maybe encourage the batsmen to take a few more chances. It's good bowling, keeping it up to the bat. There's just a little hint of inward movement. Five balls now without a run. With Bishu operating at the other end, you'll expect that there'll be a few runs taken off him.
Maiden over, 50 for 1. No surprise to see that Devendra Bishu has been taken off after one rather uninspiring over.
It's going to be about control now, not attacking too much. Not giving away any width.
Always good for the fielders to make the wicketkeeper's job that bit easier. They're the ones who have to concentrate for every single delivery. Then throw like that on the half volley makes a tough job that much more difficult. He's gone over the top. Murali Vijay enjoying his best innings of a disappointing series. Not that far from the boundary at wide long on.
They're not going to hang around. They want these runs. Just advancing down. Seem to drop inside the boundary. Signalled 4. Square leg has been pushed back and Carlton boys up to the stumps to make sure that Vijay stays at home. You'd expect that they'd try to hit at least one boundary and over. There he goes. Just walked into it. There's no one out there. Just play this as if it's a 50 over game and they're in the last 20 or so.
found the gap well for 4. Perfectly placed. Doesn't always have to be flamboyant or extravagant like Vijay.
Well, this was just a bad delivery. It was wide. Dravid is quite strong in that area. This is where I found Rampal's captain, Sammy's captaincy falls down when he comes under pressure. 60 for 1.
Ravi Rampal is back. It's in the air. There's a catch now going back to the fielder who takes it. So Murali Vijay goes. He just seemed in the last over against Bishu to be getting impatient. I don't know why. And a short ball goes in the air. And in the air for long enough for the fielder to get around and haul in the catch.
Trying to take it from wide of off stump. It was so wide of off stump that it hit the toe of the bat. The field is strong on the offside. That's the side that Rampal is going to bowl wide of the stumps. And Bishu has taken some sparkling catches this season. That was one of the easiest ones. That's what the West Indies need to set in their back. 45 to Vijay, 73 for 2.
So a wicket for Ravi Rampal on his return from the river end of the ground. Suresh Raina comes in now. Vikas Latchman usually in this position. Here's the catch. No ball called by Asad Rauf. As Ian Bishop said, it was a straightforward catch, but once you saw Bishu under it, you knew, no problem. He has been catching really, really well.
Again, a very heavily padded offside field, so it'll be wide of off stump. Again, the line. Oh, that is terrible. No need to throw. Marlon Samuels after a very good stop. And it could come down to 1 run in the contest. It may not. Batsman is so easily back. Really does annoy me when that happens.
Someone bring up Valium for Ian Bishop, will you? You're not the only one. I think it's just bad cricket. Thoughtless, perhaps, is a word better used. Yeah, that catch by Bishu is 6th in his Test career, which of course is only started this season. So in 5 matches he's taken 6 catches, some of them spectacular. and the one I think everyone who saw it on television, who saw it there, will remember forever. And Jamaica off Harbhajan Singh from Philad Edwards, hook shot. But he looks so confident when he goes for catches. He took a couple in the first innings with no problem here. That's the one in Jamaica. I don't think I've seen a better outfield catch. They must have over the many years. Remember John Dyson catching Sylvester Clarke at the Sydney Cricket Ground in the deep. It was superb. Ends the over, 77 for 2. And 3 required. 77 for 2.
India obviously made that change in their batting order. Laxman would normally come instead of Raina, partly I suppose because Raina is quicker between the wickets, but he's also left-handed, so you have the advantage of that left-right combination. Wonder how he'll find it with Bishu bowling into the footmarks. Outside is off stump, spinning back into him. How easy or difficult it might be to score that. Onside is padded for his big heave into that mid-wicket long on square leg area. That's a really good shot. Bishu would have been looking to spin the ball back into the footmark, so instead of going onside, he got to the pitch of it and opened the face. Have a look at this again. Gets close to it. That was the key there, to get close to the ball so you smother any of the churn and open the face.
Well, there's a long on a deep mid-wicket. That was the region he was aiming for during the one-day internationals. Was out several times caught in that area, or aiming in that area. Since then, his form has come back. He's batted with confidence. Square leg goes all the way back. Four men patrolling the boundary riders as they call them, on the leg side.
It's a good little period here bowling wise. The way that the West Indies can hold this, India obviously hold the cards with 101 required from 21 overs and a ball, when wickets will set them back significantly.
Just the 2 runs off the over, 79 for 2. Rampal now to Dravid. So that makes it exactly 100 to win. That's quite amazing for all cricketers at any level. Will know that if you have runs to win and it's 3 figures and you get it down to 2 figures, it makes a big psychological difference. It looked as if he would reach this stage when Ravi Rampal was run out to about, in fact, under an hour's play today. 256 for 8 at that stage. West Indies were just over 100 ahead at 256 for 8. Only 2 wickets standing. On the comeback now. A little bit slow in getting the ball back in, but he's a long way out there. So a couple of runs. Sami has taken over as captain last year in Sri Lanka, and he's very animated in the way he changes the field. Come that way, go that way, out. Pulled away for a single. There are a lot of directions Sami gives, and the fielders can't complain that they don't know where to go and where not to go. There are others who will say, well, just go to backward point, or just forward of point, and leave it at that. Let the fielder himself station himself. Then if he isn't happy with it, just move in. But he's very meticulous. Scooting through for the single, well backed up by Raina. Gets applause from his partner Dravid. So it's 5 off the over.
Scramble seam, mixed up his seam position in this over. Rampal mixed up his pace as well. Good idea, bowled a cutter a couple of deliveries ago because the wicket is conducive. So Ishan Sharma holding the ball cross seam for different reasons as well.
Five off the over. 84 for 2. For 296 required, 20 overs as a minimum to go. What's pushed it this late was that partnership of 65, which occupied 2 hours and 40 minutes between Chandapal and Edwards for the West Indies, and ensured that India would have to get as many as 180 to win. Didn't quite go on long enough to really press them, although at the moment, even if they're not pressed, they do feel that they've got to show some urgency. So 85 for 2 in the commentary box now. Fazia Mohammed and Jeffrey Dujon.
Very much TC. Seems as if Dravid just done some damage to his instep in playing that shot on the leg side. Obviously promoted up the order for a purpose, Raina. Should have been able to cut that off, Edwards. Had his moment of glory yesterday with the bat. Should have stopped that easily. India on course here, Douche?
Oh, absolutely, Faz. I think right decision, not just because he's left-handed. Good piece of fielding there. Right decision to bring Raina in. 86 for 2.
So we've got 4 overs to go before the mandatory final 15. That's why we have it simple for you there. 19 overs.
Just to expand on Raina's promotion, he's a bit more of a dasher than someone like VVS Latchman. But he's not going to be there anymore. Tried to whip it away and just gave Rampal a difficult catch. Always difficult for a fast bowler following through. Gonna stick around to see if it was a no ball, I guess. But everyone's convinced that it was a clean catch.
Well, it does seem there might be some issue as to whether or not it's a no ball. Didn't seem to be a problem with the catch.
That's not a no ball. So that's not going to be a consideration. There is some part of that heel behind the line. The catch was cleanly taken. And he's got to go. So Raina doesn't last too long. And this is how he went. Tried to whip it into the onside, and Ravi Rampal following through takes the catch. Never easy, but successfully done. And the third Indian wicket goes down. Suresh Raina for 8. It's 86 for 3.
Lakshman joins Dravid. Sounds more natural, doesn't it? And the success they've had together over the years for India.
Well, this brings the experience of the Indian batting lineup together. A lot of test matches between them. This was Raina. Tried to get inside the line and work it into the onside. Jumps across, but it keeps going across him and just manages to knock it back to Ravi Rampal. Gets down nicely and takes that.
Still quite a bit of batting to come. Kohli, Dhoni, Harbhajan. But if they keep losing wickets, just wondering if India would say, look, this isn't worth risking. We're 1-0 up. We've got the series won. Let's not go chasing after a victory that could see us in trouble and trying to hang on.
I think it's too early for that. It'll be dependent on how fast VVS gets into stride. West Indies must realize that he's not really a very fast runner between the wickets. So that might slow down the scoring a bit. Dravid, a pretty conventional player. Both of them are really. It's a chance for the West Indies to get some more overs in here. And that was a good one. Maiden wicket, 86 for 3.
Just over 5 runs per over required for India.
He's doing a good job, Devendra Bishu. He's into his 7th over. Just 13 runs conceded after that first over where he bowled far too short. He's been far more effective coming around the wicket. Got the room, Dravid. Won't get 4 here. As you can see, they only picked up 2. Real urgency. VVS Lakshman, not the fastest. I just think they may have slowed the pace a bit. Thinking about not losing any more wickets. 88 for 3.
Only 2 runs have been scored over the last couple of overs. Just wondering if the dismissal of Rainer has triggered a shut up shop mentality now. Just basically played safe to the end. Not to take anything away from the improved bowling that we have been seeing from the West Indies, especially from Rampal.
Well, they've just lost a wicket, so maybe they're just going to see how they go. Maybe make a decision, but right now it's just consolidating. But it has the feel of a resignation to simply play out the overs until such time as the umpires will allow them to call it. Would have been nice to leave here 2-0, but 1-0 is still a win.
Bowling to a predominantly offside field. He knows where his line should be. West Indies would have come into this day with expectations really that 81 runs on, 6 wickets down. It's going to be another one of those days as they've experienced far too often over the last 15 years.
It's been a good effort. Did very well from the position they were in yesterday evening to set India 180. And they've come back and bowled well. They've changed India's mind clearly about trying to win the game. And you could say that that's a plus that they can take away from this series. That they finally showed a bit of fight and held on. 92 for 3.
One more over and then we're into the mandatory final 15. I think the intentions are quite clear now. Preserve the advantage, take another series victory onto England. Their next assignment is just a matter of 10 or so days, 11 days away. West Indies won't be playing Test cricket again until October, when they go to Bangladesh and then to India. A lot of time in between. Certainly Bishu has been one of the positives of the season for the West Indies. .94 for 3. Final 15 about to begin shortly, but first, time for some drinks. Well, we were anticipating that this would happen. It's happened maybe earlier than we thought. Handshakes all around. The teams have agreed that there's no decision about progressing any further. It's a draw. India finish at 94 for 3 after being set 180. And obviously the dismissal of Suresh Raina, who was promoted up the order to try to accelerate the scoring in pursuit of that target and a 2-0 series victory, has made all the difference. Not worth risking losing wickets and then possibly giving the West Indies a sniff of squaring the series. And the West Indies will actually take this as a bit of a moral victory. As I mentioned before, we went to the drinks break 9 times out of 10 with the current trend. You'd say they would lose and lose comfortably on the last day. But with the resistance of Chanderpaul's 23rd Test 100 and Fidel Edwards' Test best effort of 30, they've been able to defy and frustrate India for long enough to have the match finish as a draw. When Raina came in, clearly with the intent of accelerating, you felt that India was certainly looking to push on. But Rampal put pay to that. And when Lakshman came to the crease, clearly the intention was that India were going to settle for a draw. Fidel Edwards with the early strike. 2 more for Rampal, an outstanding season in the Caribbean for Rampal. Sammy the captain and Bishu tightened up after a loose first over. So that's how it finishes. The West Indies with their highest innings of the season, 322, and putting India in to get 180, and they closed up at 94 for 3. They win the series 1-0.
This has been a Fox Sports presentation.